Right, I'm going to tell you today in this video about the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. I hope you can hear me okay today. It's quite breezy, so I'm going to raise my voice so you can hear me over the over the wind. So, I've made loads of mistakes in my life. I've made loads of bad mistakes. So what was the worst one? Was it the night that I nearly killed myself? Can you see I have a scar there? You might not be able to see it. Over 100 stitches there as a result of being ran over by a taxi when I was drunk. Should have died that night. Miraculously I didn't. Or suffer any brain injury. What a terrible mistake that was. I was young and foolish. But what about the years that followed? All the other mistakes that led to me putting myself in vulnerable and dangerous positions as a result of drinking too much. I mean, I could tell you some stories there. No, that wasn't the biggest mistake either. What about losing a lot of money gambling? And I mean a lot of money over quite a long period of time. Big mistake. Not the worst mistake I ever made though. What about continuing to play football even after a major operation on my back? Continuing to play football for the love of the game, making the injuries worse and the pain worse over a number of years until I got to the point where I just couldn't take the pain anymore. And now I have a chronic back condition. No, that wasn't the worst mistake I ever made either. What about it feels like infinite number of times I've displayed some pretty bad behaviour and offended, justifiably offended people and upset them through maybe drunken antics over the years? No, not the biggest mistake I've ever made. I could go on and on and on and on and tell you about all the mistakes I've made. I'm not alone, I'm only human. But they all pale into insignificance compared to this one mistake that I made fairly recently that I'm going to tell you about. So I'll just break off and tell you to, or ask you, sorry, to subscribe if you like my content, if you like some observations about society and why it is the way it is, where we've come from, where we're going, and what you need to do about it. If you like that type of content, please do subscribe, and certainly do leave a comment on this video and let me know what you think. So, the biggest mistake I ever made in my life was on the 23rd of March 2020. So what? Last year. And what was the mistake? I sat down in front of the television and I hung on every word Boris Johnson said. I believed every word he said, and I obeyed him. I obeyed his tyrannical orders, and I agreed for the wholesale removal of my freedoms and civil liberties on that day. Can there be a mistake bigger than that? Can there be a mistake bigger than willfully agreeing with your own government to impose a set of restrictions and measures with the end result of having your choices severely curtailed, your ability to be physically free severely curtailed, and to be at the behest of your own government, to agree to cede your own autonomy and individual power to the state, all in the name of keeping me and others safe. Can there be a bigger mistake than that? Wow. Now, true, I only got reeled in to the psychosis for 2-3 weeks maximum. But what a mistake of such significance and gravitas. And here's the thing, I wasn't alone in making this momentous and monumental mistake. Over 99% of people, I would say, made the same mistake. And each mistake, each choice, and we did have a choice, we didn't have to accept this imposition. Every mistake, every choice has consequences. And wow, have we seen the seriousness of those consequences over the past 18 months. I'll tell you as well something that I'll probably never forgive myself for. Something that I'll be eternally ashamed of. For those first couple of weeks around that period of time, March, April 2020, hope you can hear me here, I was one of those clapping seals. I dutifully left my house at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever it was, on the Thursday evening. And I clapped like an imbecile. I clapped. Clapped for the NHS. And now I can't say on this video what I feel and think about the NHS, because I'll get censored, because you're not allowed to criticise the NHS. Suffice to say, the values that I hold dear in my life appear to be radically different from the values of our National Health Service. And I will never understand properly why I got reeled into that. And as I say, struggle to forgive myself for ever participating in this state organised weekly bout of sycophancy and propaganda that I would suggest even North Korea would be embarrassed by. So there's the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Every mistake has consequences, and the consequences we now face are, we are in a position where taking back our freedoms is exceptionally difficult. Simple, as I've remarked on many occasions recently, simple but exceptionally difficult. So, what I'm going to do is a two-part mini-series in the next couple of days. The next couple of videos are going to be about specifically how do we take back those freedoms, those liberties, those choices that we've lost. How do we take them back? And one of the reasons is going to be out of our control and is out of our control, and it relates to the people who are maybe realising that something's wrong, and which of those are willing to do something about it, and in doing so they need to acknowledge something to themselves. So it's external to us. One of the solutions is external to us and is reliant on other people. The other one, the other solution, is completely within our control, and we must make the conscious choice to actively take back our freedoms peacefully. So the first video is going to be about solution number 1, which is outside our control, and the second video will be solution number 2, which is very much in our control. So make sure you tune in to The Imperfect Individual tomorrow and Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, for the 2 solutions about what needs to be done. The simple but difficult steps that need to be done in order for us to win back those freedoms. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.